Hello, this is Borgdude on Clojure. Today I will show you how to use a library from clojars in a Babashka script. Before I dive in, just a quick word about sponsoring me on GitHub. If you use Babashka or Condo or another project that you are finding useful, you can sponsor me on GitHub to take care I can continue working on this. And one additional perk you get is if you have a bug in one of my projects, I will label it with the sponsor label and excuse me, and so your bug will be fixed with higher priority. So today I will show you how to add a library from clojars to a Babashka script. And the library I will be showing is Sean Corfield's honeysql. And honeysql is a library to turn Clojure data structures into SQL. And this library happens to work with Babashka. Babashka contains a Clojure interpreter, and this Clojure interpreter cannot run all of Clojure, but most of Clojure. And so honeysql is a library that is written in a style that is compatible with Babashka itself. So it doesn't contain any def types and def interface code. These are the two most notable things that you cannot do with Babashka. But if you stick to this code that doesn't use that, it mostly works. So and so this library is compatible, and we have a whole list of libraries that are compatible with Babashka over here on the projects.md page. So we have listed all these libraries, and whenever I find a library in the wild that is compatible with Babashka, I tend to add it to this list. And also I will add the tests of these libraries to Babashka in CI. So I verify that if I make changes to Babashka, that these libraries still work. So they are also used for smoke testing changes to Babashka. So let's see. So I have a script over here where I will use honeysql in a Babashka script. So so I'm using the Babashka.deps namespace here, and the Babashka.deps namespace takes care of adding libraries to Babashka's class path. So Babashka also has a class path which is used to find source code from libraries. So what I'm doing in this script is I'm using SQLite. I'm shelling out. You don't have to do this. There is a better way, but I will show that in another video. So the point I'm making in this video is how to add a library to a Babashka script, and this is how you do it. So you call deps, add deps, and then you paste an entire deps Eden map in here. So you can also do slurp from an existing deps Eden file, of course. So, but you can just paste an entire deps Eden map in here, and then you can say, well, this is the library name, fully qualified, and these are the Maven coordinates, and then it will be loaded from clojars or Maven Central. And after you've done this, then you can load the honeysql library. So you need a two-stage namespace setup. So first you require everything that's already in Babashka, and then you load the libraries, and then you load the namespaces from those libraries. I am planning to improve this as well. So maybe in the future we can have a .babashka config Eden file or something where you can declare these dependencies. But this is not there yet, so you have to do it from within the script. Or you can set the class path manually on the in the shell. That also works, but for single scripts this is easier because you don't need to install anything else than Babashka. You don't even need the Clojure CLI tools to make this work, because Babashka comes with deps CLJ, and that is a project which re-implements the Clojure CLI tooling in Clojure itself. So this is a standalone solution which is hooked behind this function call. So it will download the tools deps jar for you if it's not there on your system, and then it will call the tools deps alpha stuff for you without you needing to install anything. So this will use Java, so it will call Java to resolve the dependencies. But once you have the dependencies already resolved once, this is cached, so this call is then super fast. Okay, so we can try the script. So this is actually a script that I'm using for an upcoming talk at the GraalVM workshop. But I'm just showing this to how you can add a library to a Babashka script. So I'm going to the directory and then I'll show, let's see, no, don't execute a keynote file, but that's not a script. And I'm not a cat. Let's see, honeysql, yeah. Okay, so that didn't work. What? I'm not sure what this is. Maybe I need to delete my caching stuff. Okay, so now it will call out to Java just for once. I don't know what went wrong here, and the second time I'm doing this, it's fast, you see? So if I'm doing time, so this takes about 96 milliseconds to load the entire library, but also to build functions and to build SQL queries, and then to shell out to SQLite basically. So now I'm using the honeysql library in a Babashka script to do some SQL stuff, which is pretty cool because Babashka is designed to replace bash scripts, but producing SQL, that's not something I would do in bash, but I will do it in Clojure. So let's print maybe the SQL that is produced. Let's see. So here you see it. It produces this insert statement with these values, and because we're shelling out to SQLite, we're actually inlining these values and not using the question mark style. You can do this, but not when you shell out to SQLite. But in a different episode, I will show how to use the SQLite pod, which is a much better way than shelling out SQLite. So you can combine the honeysql library and the pod. But that's too much detail for this video. So even the create statement is is generated. Let's see. Oh, def SQL, create SQL maybe. So create SQL. Okay, so here you see it, create table animals, name and scientific name. So even though I'm using scientific name, I'm using a hyphen here. I think it's called kebab style. Even though I'm using that, it will convert it to lowercase for me, which is pretty cool. And I think it does this using, let's see, there is another library in here, which is called dependencies, deps. Oh, it actually doesn't have this. I thought it used the kebab, camel snake kebab library, but it doesn't have this anymore. Maybe, or it does, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, this is the version 2 that I'm using. And it also doesn't have it as a dependency. Okay, so it will do this inside this library. I wonder where Sean does this. Not sure actually. Maybe there's some kebab thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where Sean converts these keywords, but it works. So that's pretty cool. And this all happens in 100 milliseconds. So that's pretty cool for scripts that you're using to interact with the SQL database, to not have to write any manual SQL. So this is how you can add a library to a Babashka script, and you can find a list of libraries that you can use over here. So honeysql is here. And there might be more libraries that are compatible with Babashka. If you know any, please let me know and I will add them here. Hope you like this, and see you next time. I'll stop the recording.